Bowman here from BW1, and in this video I'm going to show you how to install Windows 10 Technical Preview. Now the way I'm doing the installation is actually I'm using Hyper-V that's built into Windows 8.1 Pro. The Pro Edition will have it built in, and I'm using virtualization to basically do this to make it a little bit easier for me. If you guys want me to go over Hyper-V or anything like that, kind of how that works, I can do that in a bit of a separate video because I want to keep this focus basically on Windows 10 here. So I'm already here set up, I already got my virtual machine set up ready to go. We're going to walk through the setup here. So let's start off. We can keep it at English. They don't even have, they just have Windows. They didn't have the number 10 here just yet. So it's pretty interesting. We can see the build here at the bottom as well too. 9841. We're going to go ahead and hit install now. Typical stuff that I remember seeing in the Windows 8 installation sort of wizard. So nothing new there. And basically where you're going to be able to get this technical previews if you join the Windows Insider program, and you can join that for free just by going to preview.windows.com and just signing in with your Microsoft account, and you'll be able to download the installation and actually get the key and everything right there. So it's pretty cool. It comes in an ISO file. All right. So we're gonna not do an upgrade because we don't have anything to upgrade from. We're gonna do a custom install Windows only advanced, and I have it set to 25 gigs. Now I did have this set to 20 gigs earlier, and it did warn me that they recommend at least 21 gigs of storage to install this, so we have it set at 25 here. And from this point it's unallocated space. We're just going to hit next and let the installation begin, and it should just go right into it. Alright, Windows files already copied, getting ready for installation. What's interesting about this is like the same wizard they've pretty much used since Windows Vista. Everything they've tweaked some things around, but as far as the installation window and sort of setting up your disks and stuff, it looks pretty much exactly the same since the Windows Vista days. So they've kind of carried on that wizard, and it's been a very easy UI to understand, so it's pretty cool there. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and let this kind of run through, and then we'll probably skip on to the next step because this takes a little bit of time usually, and it's kind of boring just looking at a screen telling you words and percentages. So we'll be right back. Alright, that installation actually finished relatively a whole lot faster than expected, merely just maybe about a few seconds to maybe about 60 seconds or so right after I kind of paused right there. But it's probably because I'm running in a virtual environment, so maybe a little bit faster on the install. So that's going to vary based upon if you use physical hardware versus virtual hardware here. So you see this getting ready here. You probably won't see this Hyper-V thing if you're installing it not on virtual hardware or through a Hyper-V system. You're doing that your physical hardware install, you probably won't see that Hyper-V there. That's just because the program that I'm using to try out Windows 10 Technical Preview here. So letting this kind of go through, and hopefully we should get to the next screen in just a second instead of seeing a boring old blank screen. There we go. All right, let's go through a few basics. So we can go through the settings. We'll leave it at, we'll customize this time so we can see. You can connect to the network. Is it for home? Is it a public place? Well, home network for us. Update your PC and apps. Helps protect your privacy. We don't know if this is going to be the final look of the installation, but this is basically what we see here. Check online for solutions. Help improve Microsoft products. You can hit next there. We're just going to go through it here. Share info with Microsoft and other services. Next, you'll set up your account. And I'll go ahead and sign in here with my Microsoft account. So just give me a second, and we'll skip to the next part right after. Okay, so I got my Microsoft account here set up, ready to go. Now, just a quick note, if you use two-step authentication, it's going to ask you that, so make sure you have your phone and stuff ready to authenticate. And now it's going to ask, like it did before, if you set up Windows 8 before and you have it on different PCs, it's going to ask you, well, what do you want to set up your PC as? You can see here I have a lot of PCs that I test, and what do I want to use as far as what I want the system to be based on. I can use one of these, or I can set it up as a new PC instead. I thought about setting up as a new PC instead, but I'm curious on this. I'm just going to set it up as system manufacturer, which a lot of people will want to do. They'll probably want the role settings to sort of come over. So I'm going to see how it handles that. So let's go ahead and click next. It's going to set up my account here. Finalizing your settings. Everything's going pretty fast here, which is a good thing. Getting things fast and set up. Nice to see Microsoft. They definitely increased that in Windows 8, and now we're seeing even faster in Windows 10. And probably my virtual hardware's got a little bit to do with that. But now they're setting things up for you. You can get new apps in the App Store, installing your apps. This whole nice little thing here. So hopefully this kind of bypasses quickly here. But if not, we'll go ahead and skip this and head into the Windows 10 operating system in just a second here. Looks like this is going to take a little bit of time. And boom, here we are in Windows 10 Technical Preview. Pretty simple installation is, if you can see. Technical Preview build, evaluation, build a 9841, as you can see there at the bottom. It brought over my wallpaper as well too, which is pretty cool. And you can see some of the icons have changed. You have that brand new start menu. Yes, people, the start menu is back. Oh, it looks like you still got the same right-click functionality, which is pretty cool. You can bring that over, and you can how useful the live tiles to start. All right, it's asking you a few questions there. You can see all your apps, and you can see some of the apps that I can install here. All right, nice, pretty cool. I want to install eBay, Evernote, Facebook, Finance. All right, let's bring up the Finance app. Boom, there we go. And you can see now we can use it as a window. We can maximize it, use it as full screen if you want to, bring it down. We can resize it, and it will sort of conform to the resizing. All right, that's pretty cool there. Let's see what else we have going on here. Looks like we have some new icons as well too. All right, nice. All right, you see this PC. You can see some of the settings here. All right, nice. You can see that the sides are been sort of cut off a little bit here. There's literally like no edges right here on the side. A little different look. Let's actually I could have did it from there, but let's actually make sure all my PC specs are right. So Windows pause break. Let's bring that up. All right. There's my processor stuff. 6 RAM I allocated to it. I made it a quad-core system when I virtualized it. Windows is already activated. It gave us the key, but looks like it activated already. So that's pretty cool. All right. Let's see. There's the multitask portion there. And then you have the search. Looks like it searches all around and on the web as well too. So you have Internet Explorer as well too with the new MSN. All right, awesome. So that's pretty much it. I don't want to take too much time with this here because I actually want to get to using Windows 8. This video is really focused on showing you how to install it here and getting things set up and kind of seeing what you're kind of come across as you're doing the setup here. So be sure to check out our next video where we kind of go through the technical preview of Windows 10 and really check out and see some of the cool things that they've added here with it. Push any questions below if you have anything you simply want to see, you kind of want to see us try or anything like that. If you want me to do a video talking about Hyper-V and sort of how that works, post that below, let me know as well too. Also be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page, connect with us on all of our social media. That'd be great: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google+, and our main website at bw1.com. All of those links are in the description. And always remember to live your tech world in high definition. Thanks for watching.
Hello, this is Ken from the Computer Clan, here today to show off and demo Windows 10 Technical Preview. Now, right now, Microsoft has plans to show more consumer features with the system, but as of right now, there's only so much we can look at, as it is very early pre-release software. Right off the bat, I'm just going to make a few disclaimers. 1. Cortana will most likely be in Windows 10, but I do not see it anywhere in this build, so I will not be able to demo it. 2. There is a mode with Windows 10 where it can automatically detect if you're using a touch interface or a keyboard interface, and it will be able to switch your apps, all of your currently open apps, between the two modes seamlessly. It's called Continuum, but as of right now, that is not available in this build either. So I just wanted to get those two out in the open right there. Let's start with literally the start menu. Everyone wants to know, did the start screen go away? Yes, it did. You can still turn it on if you want, but by default, for a keyboard and mouse setup, the start menu now looks more familiar. Microsoft will still give you the option to have your live tiles here, which I like in some cases to get quick glance information there, but having the traditional program list is also very handy for many users. Jump lists are also still in here, so you can hover over an icon and get to your jump lists. Speaking of icons, as you will notice, some icons do look new, but some still look like the old generation icons. Those will all be changed in the final version, most likely, but not all of them are changed right now. And there is an All Apps button to get to my programs here in this list, even folders. My account options are right here, change picture, lock, and sign out. And the shutdown, restart, and sleep options are up here too. And the search is right here, so I can search anything, like account for account settings, and I get those options up there. But I can also get some information from the web. Another change to note with the addition of the new start menu is that it actually is resizable, so you can drag the top of the menu and flatten it out if you want more of a wide interface like this. Or you can stretch it up to make it nice and tall. The next thing I want to show is how modern UI apps run in a window. One of the great things Microsoft is doing with Windows 8 currently and Windows 10 is that developers don't need to develop for multiple different platforms. Windows 10 is going to run on all devices, phones, Xbox, tablets, typical PCs. And Microsoft has ways for keeping it all under one roof, if you will, but still having the interfaces tailored towards each of the systems. So for example, I'm on a mouse and keyboard setup. And if I open up a typical Win32 app that runs in a window like this, it runs as you would expect. And you even probably notice some of the interface changes like the thinner borders and the new animation effects. But when you ran a modern app in Windows 8, it would switch to that full screen modern UI environment. Well, no longer. So if I open up an app, it now puts it in this window here. So these apps used to be modern UI full screen apps, but now you can have them in a convenient window. You can still run them in full screen if you want, and with the continuum features, when you have a touch interface only, and that's what the system detects, it will automatically throw those apps into full screen as well. So that's really handy for multitasking. And another cool feature is that this menu right here is essentially a replacement for the Charms bar. I can get to the search right from here, share options, settings. I click it, and the sidebar just slides right out, and I can control everything right from there. And the full screen option is present there too, and I can just take this app full screen if I wish, or I can go back up to the bar and say exit full screen, and it comes right out. I'll show off another modern UI app just to give you a better feel. I'll open up the music app. Again, in a window, very nice. And I can even snap this using the keyboard shortcuts too. And let's say I want to open up another modern UI app. I can just snap like that. So very efficient, and it runs perfectly alongside your typical Win32 programs that you already know and love. Since we're talking about multitasking, let's get back to that task view button that I was talking about earlier. So when you click the task view button, you get a bird's eye view of all of your open windows. So I can switch to my home folder here. But let's say now I need to switch to something else and it's in the background. I can click the task view button and switch to a different window. And I can even close the windows by clicking the X button right here. In addition to that bird's eye view of all of your open windows, Microsoft also threw in virtual desktops. So if I click that button again, I can add a desktop right here and switch to it. Now, there's less clutter. As you can see, the taskbar adapts. There's little lines underneath the icons. That indicates that they're open, they're just not open on this desktop. If I switch back to another desktop, you will see that the icons change a little bit to indicate that those apps are open on this desktop. But that's nice for multitasking. I can have all of these apps running here and then have separate apps running just on this desktop. So if I wanted to open up WordPad, I could then do that and work on a document just on this single screen. Okay, so now I can switch back to Internet Explorer, for example, and have all of my other apps here too, and I can interact with them and then switch back to this. And if I minimize this, you will notice it's a nice clean desktop because it's its own virtual workspace. And you can switch between them from the taskbar, or you can switch between them in the task view. The task view is also accessible via Alt-Tab for window switching. Microsoft took this interface a little bit further though. So, for example, I'll open up WordPad. Say I'm working on this awesome README file. Oh yeah, hardcore. So I have that. And Snap is still built in. Snap is a feature that I'm sure a lot of people use for multitasking. But the way it extends is now that you can have that Snap interface integrated with the task view for easier snapping. So let's open up some more apps here. So let's say I'm using all of these at once. And before, I could snap them all individually. But now what Windows 10 will do is it works with that task view. So if I drag a window and snap it to the side, watch what happens. It snaps, but now it assumes that I'm going to want to snap something to the other side too, to compare and drag and drop between two documents. So it automatically splits that part of the screen and throws it into this task view. So when I choose an app, it comes forward and snaps automatically. I can drag it into the corner, and it will even snap it into the corner there and still give me access to my task view. I can click another app. All right, I'll try this one, and it will come forward. So now I can split my screen in more directions and have that easy task view accessible. And it may look a little cluttered here because I'm broadcasting this recording through a smaller screen, but imagine on a 4K display or something, this could be very handy. Some other little touches apply to the command prompt. This will be nice for the power users that prefer to use that. So I'm going to open up a command prompt session and show you a couple changes. For starters, the window is a little more flexible. I don't recall previous versions being flexible like this. You couldn't stretch the window across the whole screen. So that's a nice little touch. But keyboard shortcuts also apply in the command prompt more than before. So if I had a notepad file open and someone maybe had some kind of path in here or something like that they wanted me to do a dir listing for, instead of me having to type in the path, let's say it was much longer than that, and I didn't want to type it all in, I could just paste it. So I could do like CD, for example, paste in a path, and then do a dir listing. And then I can actually just shift and go up, copy, and paste. So clipboard compatibility is now present in the command prompt, along with some other convenient shortcuts. So that's a quick look at Windows 10. There's a lot more to come. Microsoft plans to show more consumer features, most likely including the Cortana digital assistant in early 2015. And we'll definitely get a demo out when we can, so check back in around that time. If you have any questions about the system, or if you just want to share your opinion, we are more than open to hearing what you have to say. So feel free to share in the comments section below. So thank you for tuning into this demo, and I will see you next time. Productions like these are made possible by community funding for other projects from the Computer Clan, such as the Revision project. Revision is our most complex project to date. If you're interested in indie films and/or sci-fi, check out Revision today on revisionshort.com.